We're coming on the end of the year, so that means it's time for my picks for the 5 best smartphones of 2024 as we head into the new year. Now, no particular order here. There are going to be some omissions. We'll talk about them actually. We'll make them little honorable mentions. But it's not a straight list of, hey, well, this is the best phone, or this is this phone, and this is the most powerful phone, and this. The phones had to do something special. The phones had to surprise me in some way. The phones had to wow me in some way. The phones had to outperform expectations in some way in order to make it on the list. So these are the phones that I think did that for me in 2024, even though there are going to be some glaring omissions out of the top 5, what I think. And the first one, the first honorable mention, we're just going to get it out of the way. S24 Ultra. No doubt it's a great phone. No one's saying it's not an excellent phone. No one's not saying it's the most powerful phone. No one's not saying that One UI is great software. None of these things are being said. What I'm saying is that for $1,400, this came in as expected. It didn't outperform expectations. To me, when it was first launched, perhaps it came in slightly under expectations. And that to me doesn't equate to a best smartphone of a year. Samsung had a rudderless year. Samsung feels like it has no direction. It's been like this for last year too, but I think it's really glaring this year. I think there's going to be, you're going to see sales fall offs. You're already seeing it on the foldables. 2025 is going to be a make it or break it year, and you're going to learn real quick. You're going to find out in a hurry whether Samsung is serious about innovation, Samsung is serious about making changes with hardware, and whether Samsung is serious about making smartphones interesting again. Because right now, this isn't it. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't buy this. That doesn't mean that it's not a great phone if you already have one. Doesn't mean that I don't enjoy using mine. I do. But it's not something that excites you. And that's something that some of these other manufacturers are doing that Samsung needs to get back on track to doing. Links to all these, by the way, in the description. The other phone you're not going to see is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Same reason. Apple Intelligence so far feels half-baked. I don't like iOS 18.1, 0.2. It doesn't matter. I don't like the software. The changes to the Mail app, I think, are a mess. I think the company has a lot of soul searching to do in 2025 as well, just like Samsung. Sometimes you can spend too long at the top, you can make too much money, and it kind of gives you a sense of complacency. Okay, so let's talk about the manufacturers of the phones that I think are doing well and that I actually appreciated this year. And this is a tough one to say for me because I spent the first half of the year just bashing Google. Pixel 9 Pro XL rather, and the entire Pixel 9 series. Really excellent job. Google managed to change the entire perception of the way I look at Pixel in the last 6 months. I love the direction the company's taken. I love the fact that they now focus on user front-end experience things. Things that actually sell phones. Things that annoy you because you use it 100% of the time you're using the phone. Display, fingerprint sensor, modem, battery life, overheating. All of these things taken care of with the Pixel 9 Pro series. Software is nice now too. Yes, okay, iPhone S design, but think about who they're going for. They want to have that competition in the carrier store. They want you standing there saying, well, I like this Pixel. The iPhone looks okay. It's looked the same forever. Let me give this Pixel a shot. That's what they want. And it seems to be working. If you believe the sales figures, the traction seems to be there. Google has a consumer-centric focus for the first time in a while. It seems like a consistent strategy, and that's why the Pixel 9 Pro XL makes my list of the top 5 best smartphones of the year. The second one, Moto G Stylus 2024. Man, talk about value. Talk about the value with this phone. I don't even know what the price is right now, but I'll link in the description. Like I said, it does help the channel. You get phenomenal deals on this thing. $250 for this, unlocked. $250. Great display, fantastic performance, got enough RAM, got a decent build quality. I like the Eco Leather back, got an S Pen, got a headphone jack. There's so much to like about this phone. Sure, is the software support not quite what we would want? Yeah. I had more of a problem with that at $400 than I do at $250, I'll tell you that much. But I like Hello UI. I like what Motorola's done with its software. I really just think that the Moto G Stylus had a great glow up. It was they were kind of like middling devices for the last couple of years. This is a huge step up. This is a nice device to hold. The camera's even good. The 50 megapixel sensor in this thing, let me tell you something. You're going to get decent photos and good lighting. Falls apart in low lighting, but who cares? It's $250. Anything outside of a Pixel sub $400 is going to fall apart in low lighting. So I'm not going to eat Motorola's lunch for that. But I really, really love this phone, especially for the price you could get it, and that's why it makes my list. The other one, also a surprising one for me. If you saw my early review and my thoughts on OnePlus's software over the past several years, the OnePlus 12. Another phone that I think, yes, okay, there's a lot of iOS lifting, I guess you could say feature-wise, in Oxygen OS 15, but it works. Oxygen OS 15 works. It's smooth, it's nice, the haptics are great, battery life is fantastic. Those are things that I previously couldn't say about Oxygen OS 14, 13, certainly not 12. So I've had problems the last several years with OnePlus's software. Not anymore. This is a great value. $700, $800 on sale. You were getting it for $600. Fantastic hardware, great display, beautiful feel. Hasselblad cameras are nice. That collaboration's finally working. You could see the difference in the color signs. I don't prefer the photos, but it comes down to preference. For the first time in a while, it's not a full notch below what the other competitors are offering. It comes down to preference, whether you like the OnePlus photos or not. And I think the OnePlus 12 is absolutely a fantastic device. And I love to see where it's gone. I'm really, really, really excited about the OnePlus 13 when that device comes in sometime next month. Okay, other one. Samsung does make the list, but not for the device you think. Galaxy A55. This is a device that in my mind, you can tell me all you want. It was so good that Samsung couldn't even bring it to the United States for fear that it would cannibalize sales of two devices. If Samsung brought this to the US, you'd have problems. They'd have problems with the A35 because there'd be zero reason to buy that for $400 with an Exynos 1380 in it. Then you have a problem on the high side because this performs so well. It's smooth. It's got a great construction. Battery life is phenomenal. The display is crisp. So you'd have a problem. You got some Galaxy AI in there, Circle of Search. You'd have a problem, or Samsung, I should say, again, has a problem with the S24 FE. Why would you spend $650 on launch? Yes, it's offered for less now. But why would you spend that kind of money on launch if you were getting this kind of value for what could be had for $350, $375? Just didn't make sense. So that's why I love the value proposition here. I love what Samsung did with the Galaxy A55. I can only hope that an improved A56 makes its way stateside for 2025. Then last but not least, the Moto Razr Plus 2024. Still my favorite foldable. Still the design, and I've come around a lot on the Flip 6. I used it. I understand it. I like it. I like One UI on it. I like the form factor. I like how it's nice and compact in the hand. I use the external display, just kind of a large notification display, like a widget display, as opposed to what I could use on the Moto Razr Plus, or full display. Like I don't do scrolls on the display of the Galaxy Z Flip 6. I just don't feel the need. I do full scrolls on the display over here. So that's something that I really like. I don't need good lock. I don't need anything. The design is stylish. It's nice. The eco leather is nice. Just the overall, the aluminum feel. Just a great, great phone. And you get plenty of power, even though it's not the full Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. You get plenty of power at a discounted price. They're usually $100 or $200 or even more cheaper than the Z Flip 6. And I think that's a deal that's worth making for most people. So that's my list. Those are my 5. Let me know you agree, you disagree. What didn't make the list that you'd put on there? I understand there's probably plenty of overseas devices that people are excited about. I understand people are going to be a little bit miffed, I guess you could say, about the S24 Ultra. I get it. You know, a lot of people buy it. A lot of people, it's a great device. Like I said, I don't dislike mine. I don't think it's awful. I don't think Samsung did a bad job. It's just an as expected. It didn't wow me. It's nothing. For $400, you want to feel something, I guess. I don't know. Lackluster year for Samsung. Samsung needs to come back. Go more of this. More of the A15, more of the A55. Bring some of that value to the S20 or the S25 Ultra, and then we could talk again. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.